Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn, and today I'm part of the Oh So Inspired Inspiration Hub that is organized by Call Me Crafty Al here on YouTube. And each month we have been celebrating one of our design team members, and we actually get to choose a project on that designer's social media to be inspired by and share a project with you on this hub. So this month, our team member who we are celebrating is Amalia, who is Cool Cakes with Amalia here on YouTube and across all of the socials. And Amalia made this amazing watercolor background when she crafted with me. I think it was the Mermaid episode of Crafty Fun with Friends. And hers was an underwater scene, but the cool technique that she did was she said to have the sun streaks through shining through the water. She described a technique where you just take a clean brush and you swipe those lines, which will pick up, kind of reactivate the watercolor, and it'll pick it up and almost act like it's an eraser. So that's what I'm doing, although mine's going to be a sky scene, so I'm aiming for something that's a little bit more cloudy. And then I did like a quick little rinse. So my brush isn't super clean, but you can see as I just wipe it and continue to rinse it and wipe it each time, it actually will pick up lift the paint that was the watercolor paint that was already on, and then you can create these streaks. So it looks like sun rays coming out. So I thought that was so cool when I saw her project, and I knew right away that that was what I wanted to do for my project today, but I wasn't 100% confident that I could do the technique. And so actually what I thought I would be doing, and I'll tell this story because I think it's just a little bit funny, but Malia was on a different episode of Crafty Fun with Friends where we were doing, I forget what the theme of the episode was, but she made a card with some carrots that the die set wasn't designed to be used this way, but she added some arms and legs and like a little face to the carrot. And she mentioned she mentioned during the live stream that she was looking for a craft supply that she would bet most people have in their craft room, but she couldn't find hers at that moment. And she didn't tell us what it was. She was gonna let us guess. And I was just looking at her project and I thought, those carrots look adorable, and it would be really fun if they had some googly eyes. And sure enough, that was the craft item she was talking about. She couldn't find at that moment her googly eyes, but she managed to find them before the end of the live stream. And that was initially going to be the project that I wanted to be inspired by, because I was like, I know I have a ton of googly eyes, and I have them in all sorts of different sizes too, like from like tiny ones to even 1 inch googly eyes. And guess what? I cannot find any of my googly eyes. So I went back to my original inspiration to try this watercolor technique, but I thought it would be fun to share that story. There's so much to be inspired by. If you check out Amalia and her posts on Instagram and her videos, I know she's taken some breaks from crafting here and there, but she's very creative and knows like a ton of different techniques. And that's one of the things that really I feel like I learn a lot from Amalia every time she comes on, because she does something like a little bit different and innovative. And so it's really great to follow a designer like Amalia, because you never know, she uses things in unanticipated ways, and I think she's just so creative. So I love getting to try this technique, and I'll have to admit it was my first choice, but I was quite scared to do it, but it turned out okay. And I'm really happy with the result. I think it's kind of neat. I've never fully watercolored. No, this is pretty simple. It's not like I made a masterpiece landscape or anything, but I think just having those sun rays is really fun, pretty neat. So for the rest of my card, I am gonna keep it kind of simple. There's a new collection by Spellbinders that features the Steampunk Willie version of our favorite mouse, and so I've already assembled the die cut together. And I'm just gonna frame it in this fun little Polaroid frame here. And I stamped out "Happy Birthday." I had to mask off parts of that stamp because it's one of those stamps where you have like one stamp that has a bunch of sentiments and then a single die that would cut it all out. And I love that, but sometimes you just need the one, and sometimes you just want to stamp it directly onto the thing that you want to apply it to. Now, with the with this die set that I'm crafting with, and I'll leave links to everything in the description box below if you want to check it out. The arms are connected, but I cut them apart so that I could position them more where I wanted. And I kind of wanted his arms like super outstretched, like he's welcoming the warmth of the sun. So that was kind of the idea of this. And so parts of the mouse, I want him to feel like he is inside, like he's a picture almost like coming out of this Polaroid. So I thought it would be fun to have him break the frame a little bit. And so that's sort of the look that I'm going for. So parts of this will get glued down flat, and then parts of it will be lifted and raised a little bit. And in fact, I end up adding some foam behind this little Polaroid frame so that I can lift the entire frame off of that card base as well. So in the description box, you're going to find links to everything that I used today, and as well, you're going to find a link to the playlist where all of our videos have been collected. So I hope that you will continue to hop along and see what the rest of the team has created and how they were inspired by Amalia. And of course, if you want to see the original, I'm gonna link to both to both this project, the project that inspired my video today, but I also want to link to the googly eye project that I guess the joke's on me because I can't find my my googly eyes, and I was all prepared to record a voiceover to say how easy it was for me to find my googly eyes. But I will admit that I know I have quite a few of them, but I can't find a single pair. So all of that will be in the description box for you. So as I put some of my low profile foam here, I do like to use this foam by the sheet because I can cut it down like super thin, as thin as I need, because this frame is pretty thin. And so I was able to just cut that down to size. And then I'm gonna make sure that the parts of the mouse that are kind of breaking through the frame are glued down and secured so that they don't lift or tear. And one easy way to get glue under there is just put a little bit of glue on some scrap paper, and then you can slip that bit of scrap paper under whatever it is you're trying to glue down. And even though the head, it's big enough to cut some foam to put behind there, but I really love my 3D glue gel. I feel like it's just a lot easier, faster to apply. And so I put the 3D glue gel behind that to give the head a little bit of lift. So it really does feel like he's, really coming through, popping through the frame. And the 3D glue gel, you just have to make sure that you don't set anything heavy on top of it and give it a little bit of time to dry. In a couple hours, it's going to be pretty firm, but you still don't want to put anything super heavy on it. What I have noticed though is that you could probably put like an acrylic block on top and that's not heavy enough to really depress it too badly, but will help to keep it nice and level. Okay, so here's a close-up final look at my card. Love how this technique turned out, and I learned something new, which I always do from Amalia, but this is definitely one that I looked really hard, and to see it on Amalia's project, she does it so beautifully. But I was really surprised by, just as a first attempt, how easy it was to do. So if you have some watercolors, just give it a play and try this technique out, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised, as I was. So links to everything in the description box below. Thanks for hopping by, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.